Okay, gang, this is Grandpa again doing a little video using a quarter wave model that I created a while back. I call it a 2.25 wave, 4 horizontal radials at 32 feet, and there's the title right there. This is the main screen in Eznec, and I'm going to work out from here how I see this model. First off, I'm going to change this all back to its default settings. I go up here and click on open. I'll click on no here because I don't want to save it. I want to open it back up. This is the screen now that I'm on. This is my index. Right here is the file name I just recounted to you. And over here is the button to open it. And I'm going to click on this button right here. And then I've virtually called back this screen. Let me get it in the view here. Okay. Call back this model. I've taken all these changes that I made to it out. Okay, right now I'm going to check the source data, and that's a button right here. And I'm going to click on that button right there, and it's going to bring me up the source data. And there we see the source data screen. Here's the title of the model. Let's see if I can see it all in there. And right down here is the impedance. And impedance is showing us for a value of resistance at 23.55. And over here is the reactance. It's plus 0.04104, which is virtually resonant. It's pretty close. Right here is the SWR that's current on that model. Let me bring a picture of the antenna over here. Into the screen. Now we see a picture of this antenna. I'm going to straighten it up a little bit. So we basically see what we're looking at here, and what we have here is wire 1 for the radiator, right here. Wire 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the radials. Now, if I just note there that a radial is 180 inches long. The radiator is 107.100. Let me get steady here. 107.295 inches long, and that's what makes up this. And that physical antenna produces this impedance at the feed point. This is all impedance at the feed point, and this reactance right here. You'll note that this is not 35 ohms, or not even close to 35 ohms. All right, now what we're going to do is I'm going to take this screen, I'm going to eliminate that screen, get back to the main screen, and I'm going to go to a different model. So I'll go up here and open my index. There's my index. And right here I see a dipole halfway at 32 feet. That model we just looked at was also at 32 feet. So I'm going to bring up a dipole at 32 feet. And this description says it has a mast and it's isolated, but I don't think that's the case. I think I forgot to change the name of that. But I'm going to open it up. I'm going to click on it. And then I'm going to go right down here. Get the screen up higher so you can see where I'm going. Right down here. And I'm right down here, and I'm going to go click on this open. That's going to open up the new model. Okay, what you see there is the wire screen, and I'm going to make that disappear for the time being. And we'll go back and show you some other things. First off, I want to show you the antenna image. Let me get it over in front of the camera. There's the image of the antenna. It's just a one-piece radiator. It's got a feed point right in the center, right there. And this is the top half, and this is the bottom half. Now let me call up the wires. It's vertical, by the way, as we can tell. I'm going to call up the wire screen. I'm going to bring it up into the camera so you can see that. And there's the wire. Just one line, one wire. That's all this is one wire. It's 32 feet tall, right here. And it goes all the way up to 49 feet, 0.1863, which if I click on this, it will produce that length for us on the wire screen, on the image of screen. Right down here, you're going to see it's right here. You can see that antenna is 17.1863 feet long. That just happens to be resonant with the size of wire that I'm using for this particular model. Let me get this out of the way and go back to the wire screen. There's the wire screen back up there, and you can see that I'm using a diameter right here of decimal point 625. That's 5/8 wave diameter. I'm using 68 segments, by the way, for that radiator. Okay, that's where the data goes into this screen right here that generates this whole business. If you don't get this right, or something that it understands, it's not going to make a pattern. It's not going to work. But this is the little screen. It can be very big, by the way. It can have 100 lines in it of wires, hundreds of wires, 50 or 60 wires, easy for an antenna. But at any rate, let's get this out of the way. Let's move it over here out of the way. Well, better still, let's just exit out. We don't need it right now. I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to hit this button right here, for field plot, and I'm going to bring it over in front of the camera. So I'm going to click on this, and then I'll bring the pattern over here for you to look at. And the fact is, I'm going to try blowing it up. I won't be able to see what it's showing you, though, if I do that. Let's see, maybe I can increase the field of that so it's easier for you to see. And I'll move it over a little bit so I will move it so that you can see this a little better. At any rate, we see it's at 9 degrees. That's this right here where the cursor is. Let me show you how the cursor moves around. You can see it right on the screen. Oh, hang on, let me click on it. Now you can see that cursor move. You seen it move? Seeing it move? It's moving right here. Oh, wait a minute. You can't see my arrow. There's a cursor right there. See it moving, going down? That's maximum right there when it says 0 dBs. And it's showing at 9 degrees, which this is 9 degrees, showing 3.07 dB gain at 32 feet. That's a dipole. Now, if the ground plane is supposed to show 35 ohms of resistance that we showed you just a minute ago, and it was showing 23.55, and that's obviously not 35, which everybody says a dipole, a ground plane, a quarter wave ground plane is supposed to show 35 ohms of resistance at resonance. Then something that should relate to this dipole model we're showing you on the screen right now, and it shouldn't be right on what theory says it should be. The impedance should be at the feed point either. But I'm going to go click on that feed point source screen again and show you that this antenna is showing me just about exactly what you would expect. And that ought to tell you that this model and the other model, the vertical ground plane I showed you a minute ago that had 23.55 ohms of resistance, are pretty accurate models. They're so simple, you can't hardly go wrong. If you can get this thing to take the data that you put in there, and it shows you got 0 reactance, you're resonant. And then all you got to do is read the resistance, whatever it is. Let me just move this out of the way. Get back to the main screen again. Here's the main screen, and we're going to go right here to source. Right here to screen data. That's where we're going to go source data right here. Source data. I'm going to click on that right there. It's going to open up the screen, and then we'll check out the values at the impedance. Okay. Let me move it over a little bit for you. No, I don't want to move that. I want to move this. Now you see this? Shows 71. Right there it shows 71. 71.83 resistance and 0.084. That's totally reactive. The reactance is totally almost 0. So see, this one here is showing you showing you to be accurate based on what theory tells us, that a dipole at the center is going to be about 70 to 73 ohms of resistance when it's at resonance. So ask yourself, if this one is correct, why shouldn't the ground plane be correct? Instead of showing 35, like y'all all say a quarter wave dipole, a quarter wave ground plane is going to do, why isn't it showing 35 ohms of resistance? Now, if y'all want to see that again, we'll go back to it. I'll take this out. I'll open up my screen. Let's see, need to reduce that a little bit so you can see that top part. I'm going to go back over here to open. I'm going to click open. Oh, I got to go up here and do it. I can't do it on the image. Click open. I'm going to bring over the index file. And we're going to find that dipole that I just did a minute ago, which is right here. That's it right there, a dipole, half wave, 32 feet. And I'm going to click on that, and we're going to open it. Go right down here. Let me raise it up a little bit so you can see where I'm going. We're going to go right here and click on it. And now we have the dipole in this. No, I didn't want the dipole. I wanted the ground plane. Let me do this over. Open. Move the index over there. We want this is the one we want. the quarter wave dipole, 32 feet with the mast. That's misnamed again. It doesn't have a mast, I don't think. I'm going to look at it and make sure. I'm going to open that up. So now we... I don't want a dipole. That's not right either. You get over here and see what I want to open up. The quarter wave. I might have messed up here somehow. Quarter wave. That's the one we want to open. Open that right here. I'm going to click on it. Now we'll see. Oh yeah, there we're back to it now. No, I want to keep that right there so you can see it. We're back to the quarter wave with 4 radials, 4 horizontal radials right up here. Quarter wave with 4 horizontal radials, 32 feet high. And we're going to bring the picture of the antenna over there so you can see it. And it does have a mast on it, so I'm going to take that mast off. There's the antenna. I'm going to take that mast off. Got to open the wire screen. Bring the wire screen over here. And here's the mast right down here. Right here on the bottom. Let's see. Got to get that up higher so you can see it. The bottom wire is the mast. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 384 inches. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go up here and find delete. And right now, and I'm bringing it over so you can see what's going on. This is the delete screen, and it's asking me to delete a wire. I'm going to delete wire number 6. First wire and last wire is number 6. I'm going to delete it. And you're going to see this wire right here disappear. Okay, now we only have 5 wires left. Now, what I'm going to show you next is, let me get rid of this wire screen. Is now we have the antenna, and you see the mast is gone. I'm going to raise it up a little bit. There we go. Make it a little larger. There's the antenna. Quarter wave ground plane without a mast. So I'm going to move this back out of the way. And then we're going to go look at the source data for it right here. And see if this is 35 ohms. All right. Look at there, boys. You don't see no 35 ohms right there, do you? It's not even accurately, not on the money. It's pretty close to resonant, but it's not on the money. I'd have to go back, and since that's a minus, I'd have to go back and make that radiator a little bit longer. Then we get it to resonance, but it's not going to change this resistance right here where my cursor is going back and forth over that 23.1. It's not going to change that very much. We'll change some, but not very much. Now, y'all tell me why this model here is not acting like the half wave dipole, which showed you accurate, predictable source results at the feed point that you hear all the time repeated, that a dipole at resonance will show approximately 70 to 73 ohms of resistance. But we get to this antenna and we don't see the same thing for our ground plane that says that a quarter wave ground plane should show 35, about half of the resistance in a dipole. You're not seeing it, are you? Okay, let's go find us another model just for the heck of it. And go over here, move that out of the way, get back to our main screen. We'll open up the index again, go right up here. Open up the index again. That suggests we want, that's asking me if I want to, now it's asking me if I want to update this change I made to it or not. And I'm not going to make any updates to the change, so I'm going to type no. Click on no. Now it opens up my index again. There's my index. I wish I could do all this and show you on the screen without bringing these screens into the camera, but that would make these images so small you couldn't hardly read them on the thing, because I'm just working off a TV monitor here. I'm just got my camera pointed at my TV monitor. My computer monitor. Now I'm going to go find another model here. Let's say we're going to go pick this model right here. It's a quarter wave with 4 slanted 17-degree radials. I'm going to click on it. Then I'll go down. Now I'll have to go down, move the camera down a little bit. Get this out of the way. There. Now you can see the open button right down here. And I'm going to open that model up that I clicked on right up here. I'm going to click on that one right there with 17 degrees radials on it. So I'm going to go click on it and open that model up. And then I'll show you what that model looks like. You'll be familiar with it. You're going to see the old Starduster. See, there's what you see, a Starduster. Although it's got 4 radials on it. I do that because it's convenient to handle. 3 radials is a little bit more touchy. But at any rate, you can see it's just a regular Starduster. Does that convince you? Okay, I'll move it back over here. And then I'm going to click on this button right here for the source box, and we'll see if we see 35 ohms of resistance in there now. What do you think we should see? Should the resistance for this antenna be closer to 50 ohms now? Isn't that what we hear? Okay, let's click on it and see. Voila. There we go. Right there. 56.26 ohms. And right over here, it's really resonant. It's almost perfectly resonant. Right there is the value for reactance. It's decimal point 0067. That's almost nothing. Equal to 0 at 56 ohms in resistance. I heard Doc the other day make a claim that this will never get over 50 either. It will never get over 50 ohms. Well, that's another piece of cornpone line BS on the. I don't think he's lying. I just think he don't know any better. And he thinks that every one of these ground planes is going to show less than 50 ohms. Well, here's one that shows it's 56 ohms. It ain't much, but it's clearing up a matter that someone made a claim to. Who knows who listened to him and believed him? You're seeing right here that it's not. But at any rate, this model here is more like we are told about the Starduster. It's going to improve by slanting these radials down on that antenna, the resistance is improved. And then we set it to resonance, and it is almost perfect. Look at that SWR, 1.127. Boy, if anybody had a SWR on their setup like that, they'd be happy with it as long as it gives them a good pattern. Okay, I think that's about all I can show you here. I don't know if I did a very good job of explaining it, but that's about all I can do right now. So I'm going to shut this down now and check it out. And then if it was pretty good, I might post it up on YouTube, and then I'll give you all a link to it. Okay, y'all take care. This is Grandpa, Corpus Christi, Texas, broadcasting live and in color on your two-way radio. We'll see you.